Good morning, you guys. It is a Sunday morning. I'm on my way to a double shift at the restaurant, and I am, as I told you in a previous video, I'm like this close to quitting. And it's not because like anyone's mean to me or I'm having a bad experience or whatever. It's just because the purpose of being there has been served. The purpose of me being at that restaurant was in order to pay off my debt from the past winter and to kind of hold me through as I furnish my second rental, and so then I can get that rented out with and it would cover the costs and the repairs and maintenance and all that stuff. So I'm pretty close to quitting, and by pretty close I mean a few months away. And it feels really good to have a plan, know what I'm doing, which I didn't in the past. I would always just take a job and then quit on the spot, and take a job and quit on the spot. But I've rarely ever been a career worker, and the reason for that, and I think that nobody should be a full-time work employee for someone else and think that is their career. I think that's really dumb, and I think that the part of the reason why I hate the modern education system so much is because they drill it in you very falsely. They drill in you the idea that your job is gonna carry you over until retirement. I mean, that is an artificial system. The system that your job, the social security system and all, that is a government-made system. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, they're out to get you, but think about the people who are making these rules, Think about the people that are teaching you in college and teaching you how to be a good employee. I mean, how much do those people make? They're not winners. So you have people that are not winners teaching you how to be a not winner. Why do you go to school? You know what I mean? The whole point is to learn. But if you're going to learn from a bunch of losers who are going to teach you how to be a loser, then what's the point? So I don't think that anybody should be relying on their jobs, period. You should not be relying on one employer, one person that you work for. You should be relying on multiple people that you work for. You know what that means? That means being a boss. Bosses, when you are your own boss, you have your own business or whatever, as a business, you're going to have multiple bosses, because that's how you make your income. And the thing is, people don't want to do that because it's uncomfortable and it's scary AF, and it's really hard to build. It takes a really long time to build, but if you don't start now, you're disposable to your employers. Last night I was having a conversation with some of the people from the restaurant, and part of the reason why I've been taking up so many shifts lately is because I know that I'm going to quit. So I'm all right, let's, and I'm the happiest person at the restaurant. I come in there and I'm always happy and I'm always excited because I know I'm not going to stay there. That's why I'm happy. But most of the people that work in the place that I work at, despite having a shitty lifestyle, not making that much money because they're waiters, waitresses, they don't have any other plan. Their only plan is no plan. The only thing they do in order to keep themselves going and keep themselves alive and wanting to wake up and motivated in life is they just drink a lot. Drinking. That's the only thing that keeps them afloat emotionally. And I don't want to be that. I've worked in a bunch of restaurants. Last night I was talking to some of the people at the restaurant, and they were talking about one of the managers who has been there for the past 16 years working at the restaurant, at this one restaurant as a manager. And by the way, her job sucks. And this is, by the way, this is a high-end restaurant. I'm not talking about Cracker Barrel or I don't know, Denny's, you know what I mean, where people come in and yell at you 24/7. This is a high-end restaurant in a nice part of town. It's a high-end family restaurant, but it's in a nice part of town, and these are nice customers. Her job sucks. And her pay is the same as it was almost, when she started. They gave her a little tiny pay raise. She makes in the 40s. They gave her a little tiny pay raise, at some point, I don't know, 6 or 7 years ago. And that's it. And she's still there. And the thing is that she is working her butt off 24/7. It's a non-stop job, because these restaurants are, they open in the morning, close at night. She's there every single day. She's tied to this job for survival. And she's this beautiful lady. She's a beautiful single lady. She's never, she's really nice. She's never had a chance to go out in the world and find someone to marry and settle down or build something different, because and she doesn't drink, so she's not bad, you can't say it's because of her bad life habits. It's just that she grew up with this notion. She's in her 40s, so she grew up with this ideology from that age group that your job is your life. And so and that if you stay in your job, if you stick around long enough, you'll get promoted. You'll get, you'll advance in your career through your job. No one is going to advance in their career through their job. Do not get this into your head. This is so, you're not going to advance in your career through your job. You are disposable, and as someone who both has worked for people and has hired people to work for me, I'm not gonna become someone's mommy. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna hire someone to be my, employee for the next 10, 20 years, regardless of how well they do. A big part of success in your business is constantly firing, renewing, bringing in, not always, but when you need to, bringing in new talent, when you need to and when you can afford it, bringing in new talent, bringing in people that are motivated, to do the work, that are not just there to get a paycheck and go home. You want people that are experts. You want to be constantly refining your business. You know what I mean? So that is what new business owners are doing, and things are changing. Getting a job is no longer all right, you just get hired and stay with the same company for the next 20, 30 years. For some people it still is, but times are changing. Businesses are pressed for growth. Businesses are pressed for fast growth because they're trying to compete with other really fast growing businesses. And if they don't fire you and find someone that's more competent, then they're losing. You know what I mean? So you are disposable. You're disposable as a business. You're disposable and a lot of it is because just the times, the internet, communication, travel, there's just so much more competition now that you're dealing with, and you have no choice but to keep up. And so if you've been at your job for longer than, honestly, I have not stayed anywhere for longer than a year or something. Even when I was at Daily Wire, I was there for a few years, but I still traveled a lot. I went around. I didn't stay working at that office because I just, and I'm glad I didn't, because, Daily Wire, as great as they were, and in the beginning when I started working for them, I did see that as a career move up the ladder type of situation, but very quickly being there, I realized that's not going to happen here. You know what I mean? This is a startup. When I was at Daily Wire, they were a startup. So in order to grow, they have to shed old talent and hire new talent that is way more experienced. The reason why I had the opportunity to work there and get a job there is because they were so brand new that nobody wanted to work for them yet. You know what I mean? So I had the chance. So I was grateful for that. have to understand, realize why your boss hired you. Do not think you're indispensable. Don't think that you're gonna get a career out of it. Like, everything's gonna be automated in the future, and if your job isn't gonna be automated, you're gonna be competing with so many people who lost their jobs to automation. So you're gonna be disposable. And people are like, oh, we should stop automation. No. We should stop this loser mindset of be a good employee, stay at your job for 30 years. No. Prepare, plan, do your job, do the bare minimum at your job, make your employers happy. And on your off time, you have to have off time where you're setting up for other things, where you're planning constantly. Don't be like going home and spending your money on drinking. That's like the dumbest thing ever. Honestly, people to me, if you're watching this and you are a restaurant waitress, waiter, bartender, whatever, janitor, and you spend your money that you made, that you worked so hard during your restaurant shift, you spend it on drinks. You are so dumb. I mean, even drinking is dumb, but spending the money that you worked so hard for on drinks, what is wrong with you? Why are you even working? Just don't work. Just go move to Hawaii, live on the island. There are plenty of homeless people living on the island. You don't have to make money so that you can spend it. Like, just don't live in this vicious, stressful cycle. Just eliminate costs of living, become a homeless person that lives on an island, you know. And I know you think I'm joking, but this is really, a lot of people do this. A lot of people literally just go to Mexico, they go to Hawaii, they live, and all they need to pay for is the cost of food. You know what I mean? If you can get a restaurant job at any of these places, that restaurant job or whatever job is going to pay for just food. So if that's if that's all you want to pay for, and you just want to survive, you're good. You don't need a place to live. You can live on an island. There's plenty of places. I mean, this is the thing. Venice Beach, California. I mean, they say like homelessness is crazy, but there are a lot of people that are homeless that don't look like homeless people. I knew people that were homeless that, like, you know, there are people that went to my school at UCLA. They were homeless, but they chose to be homeless because they didn't want to pay for the cost of rent and whatever, so they would live on campus. They would shower in the locker room. You have a gym membership, it's like $25 a month. Shower in the locker room, you know, put the rest of your stuff in your car. If you don't have a car, I don't know, like, have a storage box, a locker, you know. If you're a student somewhere, you get a locker for free. I mean, there's so many ways to go about it. I actually thought about I was kind of homeless for a while, for like a year actually, in 2019, 2020. I was just living on people's couches. But I thought about doing this just to save costs on living. And if that's how you're living, why on earth would you spend your money on drinking? It's like this weird American thing. 1 second, I have to find my map. I can't film for too long because my phone is out of data and storage, and it like keeps shutting down whenever I film for too long, which is really annoying, and I need more space on my phone. But bottom line with this video is stop relying on your job. Stop relying on your one employer, the one income stream, and start building like outside of it. If it feels comfortable, safe, secure to have an employer that is giving you enough money to survive on, like a baseline income, then great. But that is all it should be. It should be a baseline. It should not be your whole income. It should not be your whole income. And if you don't accept what I'm saying now, this is going to come back to bite you. Like, if you can't accept this truth, you're going to get fucked. And I'm not saying this because I'm obsessed with money and I'm Jewish, Persian, obsessed with money. Like, I'm saying this because if you're paying attention, anybody who's paying attention is going to see this. And the only people that are telling you to like rely on your full-time job as your career are your professors that are losers, and they also don't care about you because this is literally their job to tell you this shit. Your parents that are losers, I'm sorry. Your parents grew up in this, were indoctrinated in this loser system where you have one boss, and that boss is like your slave master or something because they provide security for you. Well, guess what? The economy is changing. Your employers care no longer about having a bunch of slaves than they do about growing as fast as possible. So if there's other willing and able employees that are able to work that are better,